All right, thank you to those of you who responded to my email asking about what help you needed after today. Tomorrow I'm still going to be out planned to be at meetings, and then I will be back on Wednesday. But between now and then, you're going to have time to finish these IXLs. And then with the sub on Tuesday, there'll be some review pages in OneNote with some answer keys in the content library. So we're working towards 9.3. I know this is tricky, but we just kind of have to keep practicing until we get better. So I went through and there's my writing tool. I went through and screenshotted some of the ones that I figured you were having trouble with. And a lot of people in your email said it had to do when there were variables, okay? So when you're multiplying, you're just multiplying everything together. So I see the 7 and the 15. I'm going to multiply it together and call it 105. I see t and t squared. That's t cubed, okay? I see s to the 4th, and that stays s to the 4th. So now I've taken two radicals and I've combined it into one, okay? Now, 105, you got to ask yourself, are there any perfect perfect squares that go into 105? Remember, our perfect squares are 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100. So do any of those numbers go into 105? And actually, they don't, okay? Guys, a shortcut I sometimes take, I don't think I can show you because I'm currently on the markup tool. Maybe I can. Maybe I can. Yeah, look what I do, okay? And I know you won't have this on a quiz, but sometimes when I'm doing things for speed and I want to make sure I'm not missing something, I just Google the factors of 105, and I realize that right here, none of these numbers are perfect squares. So what do I do with the 105? I leave it alone, okay? So this 105 stays there. Now, t to the 3rd, I can write that as the square root of t and t squared. Yeah, you want to take out the biggest even number that you can, because the biggest even number, the square root of t squared, is t, right? The square root of s to the 4th is s squared. So you want to take out the biggest even one. Those are the only two out of all of those that I can take the square root of, okay? Then what are you left with? 105t. Okay, so what you can't evaluate stays underneath the radical. What you can evaluate comes out front. And that would be your answer to that first one. How do I get to my next one? Done. Next. This one, same thing. Square root of 21, v to the 5th, times the square root of 10, vw to the 3rd. Take the two, put them together. 21 times 10 is 210. V to the 5th times v is v to the 6th, and then w to the 3rd. Okay, so 210. What are the factors of 210? Well, do I know those off the top of my head? No. Okay, you could Google them. You could also do what I'm doing behind this video and take 210 and just start dividing until you get something that goes perfectly into it. So 210 divided by, I don't know, 16? Nope. 210 divided by 64? Nope. 210 divided by 81? Nope. Okay, so if I get 3 nopes in a row and get frustrated, guess what I do? I go over here and I change my factors of 105 to my factors of 210. I didn't realize that was double. Okay, and then I look at this list. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 10, 14. Blah, 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 blah. Guess what? None of those are perfect squares. That's why I couldn't find anything. Okay, none of these numbers in this list are perfect squares. So you leave it alone. These are actually the easy ones, but they end up tripping us up. Okay, so this becomes the square root of 210 times the square root of v to the 6th times the square root of v to the 3rd. Okay, the only thing that can be evaluated, oops, I meant to write this. V to the w to the 3rd, I need to take out the biggest even number in 3 is 2. So that kind of turns into that. Okay, and the two things that I can evaluate are these two. So the square root of v to the 6th is v to the 3rd. The square root of w squared is w. The rest of the stuff just stays underneath the radical because it can't be evaluated. Okay. Next one. This might not have been the easiest way to do this, but this is one without variables, but I still thought it was a good idea to show you how to do it. So 42 and 7, if you take 42 and multiply it by 7, it's 294. And once again, either sit there and practice your perfect squares or Google it. I'm not saying you can't do that. So the factors of 294, going to give you a list. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 14, 42, 49. Hallelujah. 49 is a perfect square. Okay, so this breaks into 49 and 6. And the square root of 49 is 7. So this final answer is 7 root 6. This can be evaluated. The square root of 6 cannot. Okay. Um, 75 and 7. Another simple one without variables. This one, actually, I would not multiply the two of these together because I know right now that 75 can be broken into 25 and 3. Okay, if you multiply those together, then you get a giant number, and then it's harder to tell what the factors are. Okay, so 25 and 3 is 5 root 3. So you have 5 root 3 times root 7. The 5 doesn't have anything to multiply. The root 3 and the root 7 do. So this is 5 root 21. The next example, you have the square root of 10 u to the third times the square root of 10 u to the fifth. If you combine those together, that's the square root of 100 times u to the eighth, because when you multiply those exponents, you add. Okay, think about it this way. Think of it as the square root of 100 times the square root of u to the eighth. Square root of 100, these both can be evaluated. So this is 10. The square root of u to the 8th is u to the 4th, and you're finished. I think I have one more. Yes, I do. Once again, these are all straight from HMX. Yours might be a little bit different, but they should be okay. Okay, so once again, you have a couple options. You can multiply the 3 and the 165 together, or you can do them separately. Whatever makes your heart happy. This one, I'll put them together. So the 2 stays out front, and 165 times 3 is 495. Okay, this would be one where I would Google my factors. Now, clearly, I'm not going to give you such big numbers on a quiz or a test where I'm not letting you Google the factors. So don't let that freak you out. Okay? 1, 3, 5, 9, 11, 15, 33, 45. Jeez, are none of those perfect squares? Oh, yeah, 9. 9, 9, 9. There we go. So 495 divided by 9 is the square root of 9 and the square root of 55. Square root of 9 is 3. So I have 2 times 3, which is 6. And then I have 6 root 55. Okay? Now, if you didn't put them together, no, that doesn't work. Yeah, this one, I guess you had to put them together because you couldn't simplify 165. So, I hope this helps. I will definitely be back on Wednesday. We'll review some more, and then we will move along to 9-4.